Record.
Oh, you want to record? Okay.
Okay, start again. Take two. Clap.
Okay. I decided instead of preaching a regular sermon to give a testimony of what's been going on with me the last few days. It's really rather remarkable. On Thursday night at 6:30, I was cooking some beet greens and fell asleep, fell down and broke my back. I didn't know it at the time. Daniel came and got me up, and I got into my chair, and we went through Bible study, and I thought I was fine. Then about, I don't know, 1:30 or so, I needed to go to the restroom, and I couldn't get up. And my pain was worse in my back. It had been getting worse. And so I had to call 911 to get up. I mean, Daniel could have come and got me up again, but I was no way I could get in that car and go. So they took me to the ER. And on the way, I was going to the ER at St. Vincent's, which is where I'd been last, and I liked them there real well. But I realized it was my back. And Dr. Callahan, who's done my other 3 back surgeries, doesn't have operating privileges at St. Vincent's. So these doctors get all tied up with one organization now. So I went instead. We were almost at St. Vincent's, and I asked them to change their mind, take me to community. And Dr. Callahan was leaving on vacation on Friday. But when he heard that I was in there, he delayed his vacation for a day. And he actually came in that night, and they put me through a lot of tests. 3 x-rays, 2 CT scans, and a little over an hour in the MRI machine. And Dr. Callahan then came up to my room after I was there, asked me to move my feet. I did. He said, well, I didn't think you'd be able to do that. He said, you have a terrible injury. You have 2 vertebrae that are split apart with almost a 1/4 of an inch between them. He said, I don't know how you did that without snapping your spinal cord. The other thing that was happening is that because I've been on this Eliquis, which I thought all along I shouldn't be on, my blood was so thin that I broke blood vessels in my right side of my chest with the fall. Nothing big that they could seal off, just all kinds of little ones. And so they drained 3 liters of blood off my head, right side of my chest. That's quite a bit. And as I sit here, I'm getting another pint of blood put back in me. But all through it, I've had the peace of God. And God has provided some amazing medical help to see what's going on and to be able to do something about it. I was up walking again last night after the surgery. Or Friday, excuse me. Yeah, last night, not Friday night, but Saturday night I was up walking. And they didn't think I'd be able to do that quickly. So that's good. And then during the night last night, I woke up and there were 6 people in my room. I apparently had stopped breathing and my oxygen level fell below 50. But they think that was the hemoglobin being low. And we're working on that, but I think that'll be okay too. So I've had what I needed when I needed it. When I went to the ER, there were two nurses there that had seen me. One of them had seen me before, and they gave me tremendous care. And after I came up to the ICU, both of them have come up twice to see how I was doing. And one of the guys who did the CT scan has been up 3 times, see how I was doing. It's just been amazing. And I've had the opportunity to talk about what God is doing in my life. When I went into surgery and they put the mask down on my head, I've asked God to help me to do this without getting cracked up, so you can't understand what I'm saying. But running through my mind was the Otis Teasley song, whether, just a moment, whether I live or die, whether I wake or sleep, whether upon the land or on the stormy deep, when the serene and calm, or when the wild winds blow, I shall not be afraid. I am the Lord's. I know. And I just started on this verse. Nothing shall celebrate from his unbounded love, neither in depths below. And that's all I remember getting said before I was under. When I came out, I don't remember this, but they told me when I came out, I was quoting the verse that Tony read from Romans. And they were trying to get me to say who the president was, where we were, and all that, even what my name was. And they said I wouldn't tell that until they could repeat after me what I'd said in the verse, that I could answer all their questions. It's just, I know this seems strange to say, but it's been a good experience. I know it makes I have a lot of work ahead again, but it's work I can do. I've done it before. I can do it again. And once again, I could have died, and I could have been paralyzed, and I was not. So once again, every day is a bonus, a gift from God. To be used for his kingdom. And I still have work to do and people to help me do it. And I'm deeply grateful for all of that. And I am even finally, I think, learning to be thankful for my suffering. I have learned to be thankful in my suffering, but I'm beginning to be thankful for it because it has made an opportunity for me to make a difference in people's lives. Yeah. I mean, when my alarm went off last night, 7 people were in the room when I woke up. Just there to help all the medical team. Everybody on this floor came in here to see what needed to be done. All that really needed to be done was to wake me up and put me on, they put me on 6 liters of oxygen. They've got me on 2 liters now. And I'm doing fine. Oxygen level is at 100%. No one knows why it went down. But it did, so they'll be watching it carefully. And I'll be staying in ICU till I figure it out. So I'm a blessed person. And again, and I have made that the peace of God that has been going through me. They had a student nurse, Kezia, had her the first 2 nights. And when she got off this morning, she came in and said she wouldn't be here for 2 days and she might not see me again. But she said, please pray for me. And I will. And once again, my main nurse at night so far is a fellow woodworker, so we have that to talk about. Exchange pictures. He said the biggest thing he made was a pool table. He made it when he was in high school at shop. And he said I had to sell it because I didn't have any place big enough at my house to put it. And he sold it for $5,000. So I said, what we need to do is we need to make another one. So anyway, all this stuff has been great. I don't mean great and then I'm glad it happened. Yes.
Can I come in? I'm gonna see if I can find an IV.
Yes, I guess you can.
Okay.
So I guess I'm done preaching, folks.
Okay. So just so
I have to look at that
everyone
arm.
knows.
This is the
Yeah.
arm that infiltrated.
Well, this
Richard and
is
I
one
had talked about it.
The blood came
And
out.
Look at this side.
Let me mute her.
there's a song that I had heard before called Rattle. The musician Chris Brown, when asked about what brought about the song, said that rattle reminds us that nothing is impossible for God. Even in the moment that seems like hope is all gone, he can turn it all around within seconds. We see it in Ezekiel 37. That was the scripture that we read this morning. And then also 2 Kings 13, and ultimately in the story of his son, Jesus's resurrection. So I'm going to play that song now. I'll stop the recording, and the people that are watching the YouTube video will have a link that they'll be able to click on for it. So give me 1 second.